Yeah, we're live. It's going to take a while until people enter the chat because this is not my usual timetable when I stream.
Okay, I'm gonna run tell my wife we're just starting right now. See if she lets me have some more time.
Well,
Okay, be right back.
yeah, you need to ask permission.
Yeah.
Great to wait for people to enter the chat, and I'll need you guys to let me know if I can if you can hear the guest. Unfortunately, this usually takes quite a while. I don't know who Barbara Boxer is. Well, you're not early, you're just on time. So my guest went to ask permission from the missus if he can stream with me. And after that, we're going to be live. Well, actually, we are live now, but we're not in it together. So, yes. I don't know, Martin. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Depends on the things that are being said. Yeah, dag breaker. It's time to work as much as possible. I'm doing the crunch because I got the wedding coming soon, so I need to work as much as possible. Plus, the problem is that the guy is an Amerikanski, so the only way I can do a stream with him is if I stream during the middle of the night, because otherwise it's like four, like when I usually stream, it's like 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. his time, so it's kind of difficult.
All right, sorry about that.
All right, chat, please let me know if you can hear my guest. We're
Can you
going to,
hear his guest?
yeah, we're going to have to wait a little bit because there's a delay. I don't get it. Like people ask you, like, how do you have energy to stream? And it's like, don't they work for corporations? Like, don't they crunch? Don't they spend overtime working? Like, you never go to a person working and you're asking, like, why are you still in the office? Why aren't you home?
I wish I could be. Well, what's nice is if I was living here, I have my computer at the end of my bed, so I can just start working right as I rise from my grave
All right, so
till I go to sleep.
people can hear you. It's up to you if you want to say who you are or talk about, like anything like that, because you're not working there anymore. So, I mean, feel free to introduce yourself by any way you want.
Well, since V just outed me as a former employee,
Yeah.
yeah, I used to work for Blizzard for a long time. I was a artist there for many years, all the way back to the pixel art days. And now I am living in a van in Idaho.
Is that by choice? Okay, hold on.
Well, that's
Audio sounds
great.
doubled. I think I can fix it. All right, say something now.
Check one, check
Yeah, I
two.
think I think now it's better.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the accusations. Right. Let's start with the less serious ones because it's kind of weird. Some accusations are really serious. Others are really interesting. Like for example, you are accused of drawing women over sexualized.
Yes, I'm guilty as charged.
So you were creating the frat boy culture at Blizzard, which led to actual women getting harassed with your drawings.
I'm sure they can find a way to tie those together without too much work.
So
Yeah.
you pretty much watched Twitch and you watched OnlyFans and used that inspiration into your art, and you were like, I was unaware I'm actually harassing women.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, they made me aware of it. Yeah,
Mm.
for sure. They told me every time there was, you know, things weren't buttoned up enough, or there was a little too much cheek hanging out or whatever. They either let me know or somebody else went in and edited it, like the succubus or whatever now wears, leather pants.
So how does it work? Like, did they contact you and said you're drawing something that people want to see and we need you to stop? Like, how does that work? Like,
Of course, they don't say it like that. That would be awesome if they totally acknowledged that. No, they just said, "Well, we're trying to." It was very corporate. It was very formal. Like we're trying to represent the more mature culture that we're trying to foster here at Blizzard, and so we need to, you know, make sure that we're not over uh, embellishing certain aspects of the female anatomy or over sexualizing characters, and it was very hypocritical because it had to do with it was only female characters that could be over sexualized because
Yeah,
men are not seen as
you
sexual
you
beings at all, right?
you said you had like a fellow artist who drew only male characters, and he wasn't bothered by this at all because like he
No,
just
it wasn't that he only drew male characters. It's that when he drew male characters, he made them beautiful, right? Like he could make Arthas look just like even I was like, like wow, hey there. But it was never an issue when it came to that kind
so,
of stuff.
so what I noticed is that when they first started about over sexualizing, they were usually talking about costumes, right? So they're fine with the character as long as you dress her up like she would be at a dinner with her mom. But then it went to you're not allowed to draw women with big tits or with feminine features. I mean, now it's literally to the point where if you watch Tila and the Masters of the Universe, like if you remove Tila's makeup and you remove her hair, like she literally looks like a man. Like someone did that in Photoshop and it looks like a male character.
Yeah, here I can show you a sketch of one of mine here that I had
Do you want me to
You don't want me
show?
to?
I
Oh, I
mean,
don't. I don't mind it. I can show you that basically my before and after of one of the pieces here.
no,
Let's
I
see
mean,
if I
like,
can.
wouldn't people trace to who you are if you show me art? That's my
Yeah, I
question.
don't. I don't know if that. I don't know if I really care that much.
Well, up to you.
That's the thing. Is like I'm not going to say anything to incriminate anybody, and everything is very much.
Oh my god, this is
I can
a
only I
beautiful
can
art
only
piece.
tell
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it's just line art. But it was it was like my rough line work for a top down picture of of a piece that never got made. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
So,
it's
so what was
a
wrong
big
with
deal.
this piece? Like, what did they tell you when you showed it?
I'm trying to find the before one. So
Oh, so this is the after one. This is the one that got approved.
this is prior to the painting of it, but let me see what I got here. Like, I guess I don't have a
Well,
full
anyway, right?
version.
Like, I'll just change the subject then, because like that was like one of the
Yeah, yeah,
complaints. It's
yeah. So,
like,
but like, here's an old one, right? So I'll show you a really old one first. Okay, I got that. Um,
all right, but like let's
yeah,
get
go ahead.
to one of the other accusations. So
Hmm.
another accusation, and I think they started their complaint with this, is
Hmm.
that despite the fact that women are half of the gamers in that play video games, men still dominate the industry. And to me, this sounds like, despite the fact that half of the home purchasers are women, men still construct the most housings. I mean, how the fuck does that make sense?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, no matter how hard we try, we cannot get an equal amount of representation of all genders, all races, all whatever we need in here. It's like,
Sexualities, yeah.
yeah, whatever it is,
No, but
we
like, I
can't.
don't get the argument. It's like, okay, so half of the people who buy houses are women, and the complaint is that the overwhelming a lot of people who build houses are men. Like, what the fuck does one have to do with the other? Like, can you make sense of it? Like, did HR ever explain it to you?
They didn't have to. We knew without questioning it where everything was going, and we knew if we questioned it, there would be oh, so you're okay with it kind of
Mm-hmm.
accusations and
Mm-hmm.
measures. So there was no. I was probably the only person uh, in a lower position. Uh, even yeah, I was probably the only person that would question that kind of stuff. But I didn't question it through like normal means. I was more
Mm-hmm. Making jokes about it.
passive aggressive, making jokes like, "Oh, sorry for touching you there, like when I was walking by somebody and accidentally brushed up against them, I would turn it into like a sexual innuendo, like I had
Jesus
touched them in an
Christ.
improper way. Yeah. Ooh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to caress you while I was trying to get into the refrigerator here. Whatever it was. I was, you know.
These are like the dumb accusations. Now let's go to the most serious ones. A woman complained that she was told she can't get a leadership position because she might be pregnant, and I'm thinking like, okay, like I'm not saying that can't happen at a company, but like how dumb does the HR person needs to be to flat out say it's like, yeah, you're not going to get the position because we're going to cause some illegal activities here for which you can sue us.
I think a lot of that kind of well, I mean, I can't speak to that specific situation that I was there, so I know for sure, but yeah, that sounds like somebody took that as the most charitable I would be with that would be saying that somebody felt it was implied,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
yeah, because like I know people who work at corporate, and yeah, like a lot of the time, people won't give a promotion to a woman or hire a woman because they're like, okay, well, I think she's pregnant, and if I give her the promotion, then she's going to take a 1 year vacation to take care of her kid, and that will cause problems for the company. And yeah, sure, like they can do this illegal thing, but they will never flat out say it. They will just say, well, there's someone that's more worthy of the job or the position, or I'm sorry, but maybe better luck next time. Like they wouldn't just flat out tell you in your face. It's like, yes, we're not hiring you because this,
No, no, there's
because
I
like
don't
the
think there's
company is
any
going to get
way.
sued. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that. But then again, I mean, I don't. Here, I'll tell you. I'll give you a situation that happened to my girlfriend. I don't think that she would be upset about this
Yeah.
because it happened and it was dealt with in a
Mm-hmm.
very professional manner right away.
Mm-hmm.
But a long time ago, she wore a shirt that was a WoW shirt
Mm-hmm.
that had the thing that says "Rogues do it from behind."
Okay.
Right? That's what the shirt says on it. It was produced by our company for people to wear, no matter who they are. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't exclude certain people from wearing that shirt.
Yeah, just because they're
So
women. Yeah.
yeah, so she wore that shirt to work, and you know, beautiful. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman,
Mm-hmm.
and she was in the a department that did not have a lot of beautiful women. I think she
I
might have
like how
been
you're
one of the
saying.
only women there, and they said you can't wear that anymore.
Mm.
Her manager told her she can't wear that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So when she told me about that, I passed that along to senior management that I knew, personally. I said, dude, they're not like, and they took care of it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
They said, oh hell no, right? We don't need that. They knew that that was a lawsuit, right?
Yes.
Back then.
Yes.
So, but that was kind of ridiculous that somebody in a management position in the company at you know
Mm-hmm.
a very important department in our company said that to one of their employees. Like and those people probably moved up the ladder since then because this is like 15 years ago or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
So it's just like I'm not saying that it couldn't happen because there was weird stuff that happened, and even I'd had personal experiences
No,
with
but like
those.
I just can't see it. Like a boss telling an employee, it's like saying to someone, "Yeah, I'm not going to hire you. You know why? Because you're black." Like, even if, let's say, you have like the most racist HR person in the universe, they would still not say that, even if that's what they wanted to
No,
do.
no, the HR person, but that's the problem. Is it's not the HR person that decides whether or not you're going to get promoted or not.
Who is it?
The HR person has to sign off on the promotion after it's
Ah,
decided by your manager,
yeah, but
right?
okay,
So if
but
your manager is a racist, which I I've I've heard things that there was. I had a friend who was of a minority group who said, I'm not getting promoted, and I think this is why. I think
Mhm.
it's becoming rather obvious with
So
my ability and my seniority that it's becoming kind of obvious. This is why
I don't know.
it
You didn't
has to
get
be
promoted
something weird.
either. You
I
didn't
didn't
get.
want to be.
Oh, you didn't
I
want to
didn't
be.
want to be.
I
No,
see.
I wanted to do art, but he should have been in
Mm-hmm.
a leadership position, not. leaving the department and not higher than his own manager, but he should have been in a much higher position for how long he had been there and how how much skill he had and stuff like that. So it showed in his work. I did the same thing, when you feel like you're being glanced over. It's not that I didn't want to get a raise,
Mm-hmm.
but and same thing with him. But he wanted the promotion, he wanted the title change, he wanted the responsibility. Um, and I didn't believe it at the time either. I wasn't like a listen and believe person. So, but I had known him for a couple years there before I left the company, and it did seem like there was some merit to what he was saying when you see the
Yeah, but the
people that were getting
manager, yeah, but the
promoted.
manager didn't get him and say, you know what, you're not getting the promotion because you're black. Like they would never say something like
No, no, of course,
that.
no, no, of course not, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, hold on, let me put you on mute for a second. My kids just ran in the room.
All right. Um, V never worked at a company. I worked at KFC. I worked at McDonald's. I worked at a hospital. I mean, I don't know if you can call a hospital a company, but Romanian corporations are not the same like American. I mean, they're starting to be. I know of a couple of them, but the corporate culture in Romania is very different than what is in the West. I mean, the company isn't micromanaging what you do at home or on social media or anything like that. So it's really different. So,
Sorry, back.
yeah.
This
So
is why I can't use cameras.
someone asked, like, what did the people at Blizzard think of Asmongold?
Oh, yeah, since I haven't been there, I think from my experience, a lot of people had a lot of respect for him. But again, I worked in the trenches. I worked with people that were working for a living, and creating stuff. Uh, I wasn't working with HR or management teams or diversity officers or anything like that create a different kind of thing for our company.
I see. Okay,
So
let's
I,
let,
I
let, let-
don't I don't have any
yeah.
I have no idea what they thought about him, but I'm sure they weren't like his biggest fans.
So
I think that goes without saying.
the people in the trenches liked Asmongold.
Yeah, I would talk to them, and I was never really that into Asmongold, but I wasn't really, I would rather play the game than kind of watch the game. I never watch streams anyways of video games.
Mm-hmm.
If I see a game I like, I'm gonna go buy it and play it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to ruin it. So
Yeah.
that's not always true, but most of the time. But with Asmongold, the things I have listened to him about, the clips sound pretty red pilled. He seems like a pretty straightforward dude as far as the stuff he talks about
Mm-hmm.
going on with WoW. So I don't see how anybody could really take issue with it unless they think it's going to hurt their bottom line and they're really
Well, I
against
understand
that
people
kind
were
of.
upset because he started playing a new MMO and it got people
Yeah, Final
interested in it.
Fantasy 14.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so I mean, like that's why they got upset about it. But
yeah,
okay, let's talk about
yeah.
something else then. Um, what do you this accusation again? Like to me, it seemed very weird. So apparently, like drunk employees would crawl around the cubicles, and they would look under women's skirts or grope them. Is this something that happens? I mean, do people come drunk at work and they just crawl around the office?
This I okay. So I've been to quite a few cube crawls and
Crawls.
cube crawls, I think is what
What
we
what
call
is a
them.
cube crawl?
Okay, so what we do is, we set up a certain day of the month or whatever, every other month or something like that, depending on your
Hmm.
budget that you've allocated for not bonuses, but for paying for ridiculous amounts of alcohol to see what happens. I'm like, I'd rather take the cash, please. But yeah, so everyone brings in different kinds of alcohol, hard alcohol, beer, whatever can get you shit faced in the
Hmm.
least amount of time. And they decorate their offices, if they have an office, um, or a cubicle area. Like, ours had a specific motif of like, uh, I don't I don't think this will give it away or anything, but like Gadget Zan or something like
Hmm.
that.
Ah,
So
okay,
you're
so places
theming it
from
after
yeah
that.
from the game.
Yeah, and you change the lights, you decorate it, and it's just kind
Hmm.
of fun. And you have a little table out there or desk or whatever with some different alcohol that you've kind of renamed or whatever. You're mixing it to make a certain kind of punch. People would go off and make really cool, elaborate, fun little booths and everything. And it was a lot of really cool stuff. I used to wander around and look at it, and I'd eat all the free food I could in the shortest amount of time, then get back to my desk and start working. But some people would stay there and hang out and talk and drink and get more and more. You know, they'd do 4 or 5 booths and they'd be tanked. They weren't like your town drunk that's like falling on the ground and barfing or something like that, but they're just, you can tell they're
Intoxicated, yeah.
inebriated. Yeah, they're intoxicated. I wouldn't say they're shit faced, but at that point, but they might be getting that later. That part's
People in
coming
the
yet. So,
chat, LOL, the cube crawl is real. Oh my god, what the fuck is with this company?
dude, yeah, it's like and it's weird too because it's relatively new compared to the amount of time I've been there. Like, I'm from the days where we would go out of the office to a bar
Like
and all
normal
drink
people, yeah.
together. Yeah, we would go
Like
drink
normal
together. Go,
people.
yeah, you had to make plans to get home and stuff like that, or call a cab. And
Hmm.
yeah, some of us would get shit faced. And when I did that kind of stuff, yeah, I used to get hammered, and it was hella fun,
Yeah,
And
but you were in a
I
public
never,
bar and you didn't grope women, so.
yeah, and I was with a much smaller group of people that I worked with day in day out. I think what happens a lot of times, and this is just conjecture or
Okay.
whatever it is,
So did you
that
see at one of these cube crawls,
I
like
never saw anybody doing anything like that.
harassing women?
Personally, no, I never saw it. We would harass each other for sure. And if it was a woman that worked with a guy all the time and they were, doing some banter back and forth, it was fine, whatever. But it, I never saw like anything over the line, not even close to over the line. I wouldn't even say at the line
Hmm.
or close to the line. Everybody was pretty respectful. I remember there was some drama. I didn't see it, but I heard about it at one of the cube crawls where it was a drama between somebody. I don't think it was sexual in nature. I think it was more about a personal difference
Hmm.
between two people,
Like a fight.
disagreement.
Hmm.
Yeah, and even I had been involved in something like that, and other people. We've all been involved in those kind of altercations with other people we work with, and alcohol is only going to make it worse.
Yeah, I
So
mean
that's
it's like
why,
college, I guess, like in
yeah,
high school, and yeah, I get
yeah.
it. But like,
Once they started introducing the idea of getting drunk at work, I and I might be virtue signaling a little bit here. I knew it was a bad idea. I just
yeah, of
didn't
course,
start.
yeah.
And I felt bad because everybody wanted me to drink and have a good time. Like everyone's having a beer. Like, come on, it wasn't like
Everyone's
going
a
to a
lawsuit
date.
waiting to happen.
Yeah, and I was just like, what? I'll stick with soda. I'm good, man.
Mhm.
Sometimes I would have like a little drink of something or whatever, but I knew if I started drinking like beers and beers and beers
Yeah,
or whatever,
you're going to
it'd be
say
over.
something. You're going to make a joke.
Yeah,
I mean, not even like harassment, but like just say something
yeah,
that's not okay.
yeah. I think I could count on one hand how many times I drank at the company for the last 10
Yeah,
years.
that's smart. You know, I'll
But it took
read.
me a lot of time to learn that, so I understand why the people that are coming in and they really wanna be part of the Blizzard culture, and this looks like what everyone's doing, so I've gotta do it. I understand the peer pressures, but I also knew that it was my personal responsibility to realize that that's a bad idea.
Yeah, of course, especially in a place where jokes are harassment. I mean,
Yeah.
so I'll
I
read.
don't I don't blame Blizzard for doing it, I just think it was a bad idea.
I'll read one super chat, then I'll go to the bathroom really quick. So I'll let you answer it.
Yeah.
Translation: a bunch of Fuja land whales are jealous of your girlfriend being attractive.
No, it wasn't what
No,
there was
I'll
there
be
was
right back.
hardly any other women
Yeah,
in
you
that
talk
there
to
was
the chat.
hardly any other women. Yeah, well, there was hardly any other women in the department at the time, so there was no way to um, say that it was other women that were mad. It was white knighting, or it was. I think it had to do more with the guy in charge didn't like the idea of other men looking at her and potentially causing a problem, if that makes sense. I think he might have been trying to do it for the right reasons, but it was just a bad call and very sexist. that was the one time that I had been involved directly, or not me personally, but the person I was seeing at the time was involved directly with something that was very obviously sexist and not for the betterment of the company, not a good idea for anybody. If we make shirts like that, everybody should be allowed to wear them, no matter how big your chest is or how tight it is. If it's made by the company, you should be allowed to wear it if other people are. Um,
Yeah, sorry about the absence. I'm back.
no problem. I mean, I'm sure you could say something similar about. We started releasing leggings that looked like Widowmaker's legs or Tracer's legs, and they became kind of a hit
Those are kind of cool.
around.
Like, I want to buy some for my
Yeah,
fiance. Can I still get them?
probably if you go to the Blizzard site and go to their softline apparel, you can probably find them
Hmm.
still. But yeah, those, I mean, they're really cute and everything. But imagine if a guy wanted to start wearing those and they said, "Oh, sorry, you can't wear those." Like
Yeah.
it's just so you can't do that. That's just like you're gonna have problems. Even though it would look really disturbing on a guy for some people,
Yeah.
you just have to deal with it. It's not. It's company. Uh,
Yeah, but it's
you know,
I
police.
guess like it's kind of weird because if a guy would come up with a MAGA hat or he would come with a dildo on his forehead, like
Yeah,
people would be able to say something. But
I yeah, I wanted to talk about like some of the things that like people did that obviously had no that people were totally cool with and chill with, and we laughed and had a good time with it. But it could be seen as really over the line by some other people, like outfits we'd wear for our Halloween costumes. There was one guy, I mean, he was the coolest guy. He was freaking hilarious. But, he would wear like a diaper and nothing else for his Halloween costume. Or,
Jesus.
uh, yeah, one year he dressed like Lilu, and another year he dressed like Zartan, or whatever from that movie with Sean Connery.
Hmm.
It was freaking hilarious, but like nobody got mad about it, and if they did, it wasn't like it was going to be a
Yeah,
big
but it's like
issue.
it's a Halloween. It's kind of different
Yeah.
expectations. Like if I come to
Oh,
work
but
in a
it would
diaper,
have it would have been a big difference if a girl had worn that costume.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah, yikes.
So I got a question to you, right? Like
Yeah.
there's been a lot of problems with World of Warcraft and other Blizzard
Hmm.
games. I've never, and it used to be like back in the day, if Blizzard wasn't happy with the product, they wouldn't ship it, right? And there were
Yeah.
also like droughts in World of Warcraft where there was no content just because Blizzard wasn't happy with the patches and whatnot, and they wouldn't roll them out.
Yeah.
That didn't happen in ages though. Like I can't remember when's the last time. I mean, the World of Warcraft 3 Refucked is a perfect example of that. Like they're releasing products even if they're broken. And
Hmm.
lately, like they're canceled. They shut down, from what I understand. Like, well, not shut down. Like no one is working on World of Warcraft anymore because of this lawsuit and whatnot. So I'm thinking, like, would you say it's accurate that now Blizzard, instead of producing games, is just producing woke culture, and they're like, this is their version. It's like, okay, we need to see what's wrong with our wokeness in order to fix it before we can carry on. And it's the same, like instead of doing this with games, it's like, okay, people are unhappy with the game. Let's stop and rethink. Like they're not doing that anymore. Instead, they're like, okay, let's pause on the wokeness a little bit, see what's happening, so we can put a good woke product out there.
Okay, yeah, can you guys go out of here? I didn't know you guys were going to come in here and start eating popcorn. It's not a movie.
Just
Get out of here. Sorry, hold on a second.
all right, I'll entertain the chat in the meantime. Let me see if I got any super chats. Of course I don't because I'm not entertaining. But I'll just take like normal chats then. Remember when they made Symmetra autistic? Is that a thing? Like I didn't know that's a thing. But even then, it's like it's so weird. Like you're making a character and you're saying, oh well, like this character is autistic. It doesn't really change anything about their personality or anything like that. It's just like it's just another checkbox.
Okay, sorry about that. God.
Was Symmetra autistic? Like someone in the chat said that.
Yes.
So like nothing about her personality changes. It's just like another checkbox, isn't it?
Yeah, my son's autistic. It's not how I describe him. He doesn't, that's not the main thing about him. And same thing with Symmetra. I think I only heard that she was autistic a couple times. It never really seemed to be anything they were really grandstanding on, but there was a couple sprays and stuff like that that
Yeah, but
suggested
it
autism.
okay. It's
Might have
like
been written about in some fan sites and stuff.
imagine like making a character and
Mhm.
saying they got diabetes, and that's like the
If
defining thing
if
about
it
the character. You know, it's like
No, no, if it's the defining thing, no, and that wasn't the defining thing about Symmetra, and you didn't really hear it in any of her voice lines. I think she
Mhm.
might have had one voice line that slightly suggested it with the way she was recounting something very accurately that an autistic person might do,
Hmm.
but it wasn't saying like, "Why am I so autistic?" You know? She wasn't, like, saying anything like that. She wasn't, like, grandstanding on it, but yes, I understand why some people will hear things like, "Oh, the what was her name? The redheaded chick, the one that could shadow form. Uh,
A redheaded chick.
the
The
trans one.
I don't know. I
See,
haven't
I have to
played.
describe her as trans
I
because
haven't played Overwatch in a long while.
that was something that they kinda grandstanded on, right?
Oh, the
They
the
made a
Russian chick.
big deal of it. No, 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 not Zarya.
Mm.
Oh man, I don't why
So
can't I
so
remember?
the last one that I've played with was the one with the white hair. That's a cowboy, and the robot chick.
Just type in trans uh Overwatch.
I'll read another super chat. So thank you, Political Defiant, and thank you, Kenroff. Does the OP listen to MGTOW or MRA channels like the Honey Badgers? They explain a lot of what happened at Blizzard Activision, and it has a lot to do with an outsider introducing on an insider culture.
Okay, wait. Can you simplify that for me? Wait,
Do
what was
people
that?
at Blizzard watch the Honey Badgers or other MRAs on YouTube?
Um I knew one other person who did. I did.
Hmm.
I used to listen to Karen a lot, but um yeah, I guess my interest in the men's rights stuff kind of died down when the political stuff started getting really hot, so I didn't really
So
listen
you
to.
like prioritize to more political channels. Gotcha.
Yeah, less MRA stuff, more entertainment, more political, than when I first started listening. Like, because the GamerGate stuff really got me started on like the divide in the culture and the idea that men were toxic, and so I started listening to a lot of. I think Karen was one of the first people I listened to. Thunderfoot, Amazing Atheist, and Sargon, and then shortly after that was you and some of the other
Well,
I
like
forget
in
her.
the lawsuit, it actually says that Gamergate is the cause of the root of the problem. So here you go. Here's the best question: what was the best year at Blizzard?
Oh my gosh. Anything before WoW pretty much
Anything?
was for me. I mean, because those were, I guess those were the years that I felt the most uh like, I guess, rock, metal, I guess. I don't know. We were just
Like you're an
kind of
insider culture, like you're someone that's being
we were
doing
yeah,
good.
we it was definitely, me and the boys kind of culture, but it wasn't like we were uh massaging. We weren't like a roaming around town, you
It was
know.
like the girls' out night for the boys.
Yeah, it was just like going to the most awesome job possible, and even for the development of WoW, it was still like that. It wasn't until our company really started getting big and blowing up, and when they started adding like titles and roles to everybody, and then people started going off to other teams, that things got just. It wasn't that my work slipped at that point, but I definitely felt like it wasn't really
What it
the
used to
same
be. Yeah.
company. Yeah, it wasn't really the same as it had been. So
I
anything around like the late 90s
I guess it's like
was
raiding
the
with
best
your
time.
10 best friends versus raiding in a 40-man
Exactly.
guild. Yeah.
Yeah, when I first started, in EverQuest and I was in Legacy of Steel, hell yeah, dude, that was the shit. But then when I started raiding in WoW, I was just with random people I didn't really know. For the first year, it was really cool when we were doing, you know, uh, what?
H
No, can you go out, please? I just need 30 minutes, mommy.
HK9410 says, if you're not going to make a character full autismal, why even mention if it's not to virtue signal? He's not. He's not here.
Uh, no, I'm here. I'm
Uh,
sorry. I was gonna get my mommy to go out of here. My mommy was checking. Uh, so yes, it's really annoying. I agree. The I don't. It's one of those things like you can you can let it go and just go, okay, whatever. I'm still gonna play her. She's a fucking
yeah.
awesome character, right? And I liked her the way she used to be more than she is now. She's just confusing as hell to play now. Um, Now that she's like major DPS, I liked being able to throw turrets down all over the place and burn people to death as soon as they walked in a doorway. But yeah, the idea of her being autistic never I didn't care. I knew it
Mm-hmm.
was just some kind of bone they were throwing out there, and they did that with other characters too. Like,
I think like so many companies are doing this for the cash grab. It's like for the virtue signal. Like they don't really care about autistic people, they or representation. They're like, okay, well, this is what the market, well, this is what the journalists like. So let's just throw it in there. That people like, even if someone was to make a character, and it's like, okay, well, like he's autistic, whatever, because my son is autistic. So that would be
yeah.
something that I want to write. Like people wouldn't believe it at this point. People would still think it's a checkbox.
I mean, I think it makes sense if like the characters like Black Panther or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where his whole identity and what he's doing is kind of wrapped up in his culture and nation, which is going to lead to the obvious skin color,
Or
right? But
Luke
it's
Cage,
nothing.
yeah. Like Luke
Yeah, yeah.
Cage comes from the neighborhoods, and yeah.
But it doesn't change the fact that you have to have good writing and storytelling ability to make that character compelling to read through their stuff.
Oh,
But
like
with the
someone
new way
asked.
that they're doing characters, it's about their what their attributes, their physical inalienable attributes are first, and story can go way down into the shitter before we care about that.
Like someone
You
asked a
know,
good
if
question. Like, why don't they make a homeless character?
I did. Well, I can show it to you, but yeah, I made a bunch of once they started opening the door to that I said, "Oh yes. Oh yes." It was like, the it's a Gundam thing when he plays his little thing for people joining up. He goes, "Yes." I
What? What?
started making all kinds of stuff. So one of the big ones that I used to do was when they did the cancer skin for cancer, breast cancer one for Mercy. I'm sorry, I gotta calm down. So
Well,
I
now
made
now
a
I need
bunch
to
of
delete this stream as well, because if you're going to say which skin you made, then you're easily traceable.
no, no, no. None of these skins actually get made it into the game because they were
Ah,
never gonna allow it, right? Because they realized what I was doing right off the bat
then
was
what
I
are you
was
doing?
putting out the virtue signaling. So I made, uh, you know, uh, bone cancer reaper skin. You know, I made the testicle cancer zenyatta.
And what did the HR
She has
say
the
when
ball
they
because she
saw
has the
like?
balls, and I had one ball removed.
And
I did.
what did they say when they saw your drawings?
I only sent him to like Kaplan and a couple other people. I said, "Hey, here I got some other charities that we need you to invest in. This is something that's really been bothering me, guys. Is testicular cancer. So I made a zenyatta with one less ball floating around him, and it was it was just the regular zenyatta skin, but minus one ball. Sorry, I thought it was genius.
It is, it is genius. I'm laughing. Fuck
I
me.
did
Do you
I did
know?
lung
Do you want me to tell you something?
I
Not
did
only
lung cancer McCree
like hold on, hold on,
that
hold
was
on. Like
he had a
not.
hole in his neck instead of the cigar.
Let me tell you something. Not only would I have bought that skin, but I would have probably donated to testicular cancer awareness if that was in the game. I'm not
Well,
even
that's
kidding.
the thing, exactly, because all those skins were a way to milk money, and like 10% of them went to the charity.
Dude, like if I were to see a Zenyatta skin without one ball, let me show Zenyatta to the chat in case they don't know.
It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, I had the
Like this is just like, see, this is why I think Western entertainment is doing so poorly right now. It's because when you have a person that's actually creative and it's fun, like it's a
Mhm.
joke, right? Like it's obviously a
Yeah.
joke, but people would buy it and the
I had
money would
Roadhog.
go.
Yeah, I had Roadhog diabetes. I had so many good ones
Like
because
people
Roadhog's overweight.
like people would buy it and this would actually go to charity, right? And it would be like, okay, it's dark humor or whatever, like sit down with one ball.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let me do this in the chat. Hold on. um I'll make a poll because I'm really curious. How much would these cost for? Like, how much did they sell for?
I think they were like they for the skins. If I don't wait, did you have to? You
Okay, you know
bought.
what? I'll put it for
I think with the
$20.
Mercy one, you had to buy it for like $20 or 25.
Okay,
I don't
I'll
remember.
I'll I'll ask. So I'm starting a poll just to see how many people would have bought your costume, and like to see how much money Blizzard would have lost.
And they added like special effects to it, so it's a little bit more than what your standard like one that you get out of a box is. Like she had like a pink kind of ribbon that would come off or something like that. Besides just the art of the character, it had like effects and stuff with it. And I
Uh,
think she had a couple special. No, I forget
assuming
what it is.
assuming you guys would have $20, like so far, um, out of 56 people, half of them would have bought your skin.
Well, yeah, because it was an obvious thing. I was saying, hey, we're gonna go the charity route. I got a lot of charities that I think are really worth it. Like um, trying to think of some of the other ones. Oh yeah, yeah, geriatric. Sorry, what was it? No, it was
Anna,
Alzheimer's, Anna. But no, there was one for Soldier 76 too. I forgot what it was. It was pretty good. But I had him in like a really pretty like kind of outfit that had all the little ribbons and stuff on it too.
okay, so 50 people would have bought your skin. So that's 50 times 20, like already in just a couple of seconds, like boom.
Yeah, and that's the thing, we would have made a lot of money for all these other cancers out there. And so I was telling him, yeah, it might be a troll, and people would, write lots of fun articles about it, and we'd get a lot of attention in the press, but we'd also make a lot of money for charity. But that wasn't the important thing.
Oh, and
The important thing
you
was that because breast cancer is kind of like one of those things. It's like it's cool to be, uh, you know, uh, giving money to breast cancer because it's like the
a
virtue
women only
signal.
thing, yeah. It's like
It's like
feminism, I guess.
bonus virtue signal points for donating to breast cancer. And I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I think it's a great idea to donate to research for different medical breakthroughs and how to help with certain illnesses and chronic diseases or whatever it is. But breast cancer is the one that always is the top of the list as
Mm.
far as the
No, like
the
what
market.
I think is like you would make the journalists look bad as well, because like I'm pretty sure like the people at Blizzard hates the game journalists as much as anyone. But
Not all of them.
hmm. But what I'm
I
saying
was,
is like think
yeah.
about it. Like you release this skin, right? It's like Zenyatta without one ball to raise,
Mhm.
like, um, and the thing is, like, the journalists would be like, "Oh, how dare you!" And you're like,
Yeah,
"Okay, so you're saying that all the money we
exactly.
donated, like we
Yeah,
donated $20,000 to testicular cancer, you're saying
yeah,
we shouldn't? Would
yeah.
you donate? Like, have you donated 20,000? Like, there is no way they could come up looking good from that.
No, they don't care about looking good. You saw that with the other thing where it was something about it was a guy that was harassed and thinking about uh, or committed suicide or something like that, and I can't remember what it was, but there was you see them they'll still go after it like it's no problem, and then somebody else
What, the one with Zoe
it's
Quinn?
yeah, the Zoe Quinn one. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
so that was kind of going on at the time where I was doing a bunch of these skins, and I thought I was going to point out the hypocrisy and the relevance of this kind of stuff. That it works for one, but not for the rest, even though it's very very charitable and it's helping a lot of people. But that's not what's important. It's the virtue signal that's important.
Yeah, I guess. And it's kind of sad, because I was saying on my channel, like, people used to donate money to the poor in the past in order to show that they're virtuous. It's like, look how Christian I am. I'm donating money for the poor. And even if
Yeah,
you were to do that, just for pragmatic reasons to get virtue points,
yeah.
the people would still get fed. but now, like, a lot of the virtue signal is just done in order to say the correct things, and as long as you're saying the correct things, you're getting virtue without having to do anything about it.
Yeah, I even race swapped Soldier 76 too, and they got really pissed about that. Because there was a lot of race swapping going on in the movie industry at that point. And so I did a race swapped Soldier 76, and they're like, "No, that's not happening." I'm like, "Come on." I gave him the Soldier 1976, so he looked like Shaft, and he had trench
So
coat on and stuff
nuts.
and big hair.
Okay, so there's like
Like, nope.
another accusation that's really bizarre. Apparently, like, a woman which was on a company retreat with a Blizzard higher up committed suicide. Like, what the fuck is that about?
Wait, uh, a Blizzard employee
Yeah, yeah,
committed
yeah.
to.
Yeah, like, that's an accusation in the lawsuit. Apparently, like, one of
Has
the
there been any? I didn't know about that. Usually we would get company-wide emails. Is this recently or
yeah, it's in the
after I
lawsuit.
left?
I don't know. It doesn't say, but it's so weird because I'm looking at that and it's like, yeah, I've never heard
That's
anything.
huge. I would
Yeah.
have heard something about that. That Are you sure that didn't happen at another company that's
No, no,
owned
no.
or
It's the
run?
lawsuit. It's the bro culture at Blizzard. Apparently, it's like, oh well, like this one. This lady went with a corporate employee in a corporate retreat, and she ended up committing suicide while there. And it's like, what the fuck? That's weird. Um,
Uh, well, the one that I heard was somebody from. I heard about the women committing suicide, but it was from another team, the ones that did Call of Duty. Was the
maybe
accusation?
that's the one. Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Maybe I don't know. Like, I'm not the one making the
Um,
accusation, so.
no, no, no. I heard about. I was listening to Quarter Pounder's video the other night about it,
But
and
that's the Activision part, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, no, they're still I don't know if they're contractor or owned by Activision or have a
oh, it was
sole contract.
afterwards. Apparently, like, it wasn't when she was on the retreat.
No, yeah, the guy the accusation is that the guy brought a butt plug or something like that and showed it to her, and then she's just like, "No, I gotta get the hell out of here," and she just signed out from there.
Yeah, but, like, wouldn't
Yeah,
that be a criminal investigation then? Like, wouldn't that be something separate? I mean,
I thought I heard about something like that happening, like a woman committed suicide that worked in the video game industry like a couple years ago,
mhm.
and then I it died out or whatever. It kind of ran its cycle,
Oh,
and
apparently
then it.
Activision is in the lawsuit as well. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they're the parent company of the contract, and I thought the person that is under the accusation was also an Activision employee that was doing this. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with that one. That one gets really bizarre. That
Yeah.
one's almost so bizarre, I believe it because it's just
You
wow.
believe- yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah. Because
it's like
that's
beyond anything I've ever heard in the news. It doesn't sound like it's that made up something
yeah,
to
like that's
sound like.
that's the thing, right? Because this is why I said that there might be something in this lawsuit. Because like, okay, sexual jokes, yeah, whatever. And then you're
Yeah.
like, people crawling drunk and harassing women at the cubicles. I'm like, maybe I don't know. That sounds weird.
You know what? But I'm sure that that is entirely possible, and if it's possible with the amount of people involved in these things year after year, month after month,
Hmm.
that some shady shit happened in these situations, just like at the after the parties, the Blizzard parties, or BlizzCons. I just knew, okay, it's time for me to go home. I've been at the Hilton bar before where I see
Yeah, but like, so
some stuff going on between people that are not married and their husbands or wives are at home, and I'm like, "Uh-oh,
I mean,
time to go."
the thing that I find it weird, right? Like, you're in
Yeah,
such a sex negative environment, which is a corporation, like a Californian corporation, the most sex negative place next to a liberal university,
yeah.
and like, jokes are considered rape there, and you like, if you're.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that too, you're right, where things are just taken out of context or they're taken
Mhm.
way too far and they're overcorrecting,
just just how
they're tr
dumb, yeah,
and
just
they're
how
they're
dumb do you
screwing
need
over
to be
people
to.
that are totally innocent, right? A
Mhm.
lot of these guys, they would never do anything, or these women, guys,
Yeah.
whatever, that's the last thing on their mind, or maybe, even if if they do have a crush on somebody at the office, they're not going to act on it, and they're being very professional.
Yeah, I mean they
You
probably
know,
have cameras everywhere, right?
yeah.
So if they have cameras everywhere, like it would be easy to prove a guy
No,
that was trying.
it's not like CCTV there.
Mm,
I don't think they're recording conversation. I used to make jokes about that all the time, and say, sorry, sorry, Jalen Brack. I was just kidding about that last joke. I'd say it real loud, like they're recording me. I don't think they were at that level. They knew whenever you swiped your badge to go into a door, so you went in there after hours or something like that, and you weren't supposed to be working. If you did that a lot, you might get an email or a talk or something like that because they know where you're going in the building
hmm.
all the time.
So
The
so
only
if
thing you
you
don't
if you
swipe
were
for is
to,
the
I don't know,
bathroom pretty
yeah,
much.
like if you were going to go like to the executive bathroom, like they would know.
Oh, I did that all the time. That was the only place I went to the bathroom, pretty much.
Went to the executive bathroom.
Like,
How,
skirting one off
how,
there.
how's the
Yeah.
executive bathroom different than the normal bathroom?
It
Like
wasn't. It was fine. I mean, it smelled nicer.
it smells
They had,
nice. Like their shit smells nicer.
yeah, their poop didn't smell as bad. They were highborn. They just smelled great up there. No, yeah, it was just like the other bathrooms. It was a little bit better kept up, but it was the same
Hmm.
facility. I would say building 5 and 6 were a little bit less. Well, no, actually, they fixed those up pretty good by the end. The beginning, when we first took the buildings over, the bathrooms weren't like as nice as the ones in the main campus, but they were still nice. It was fine.
Bob is
Wasn't
saying
like going to the public bathroom at the beach in Ventura or something. That would have been bad.
Bob is saying people do not read beyond the headlines, so all the points you would be making in a charity function would be paved over. Yeah, but like people would get money for the charity, which is important.
That's the
Uh,
main thing, right? That you do a nice skin, do it the quality that they did the Mercy one. You put a nice big blue ribbon around uh, uh, Zenyatta's neck, and you have
the,
all
the
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 different
the minus
ribbons.
one orb, yeah.
Yeah, the -1 orb, and you know what it is, and you're good. And then they get 10% of whatever the profit that Blizzard makes off of it.
Isaiah, say, do
Sorry,
you
not
think
10.
half the reason they do this stuff, signaling, is because they don't know how to fix the problem they have?
Uh, Half the reason. It's somewhere in there, maybe. I, I think the way if they sat down and actually dealt with people individually when it happened, like they did with a certain employee there, uh, or certain employees. I shouldn't say just him. He's just the one that's in the headlines. They've had to do that with others. Uh, then I think you're doing what's most important in the company. You're holding individuals accountable on a case per case basis.
Yeah, rather
After you
than throw
start
the guilt on
av-
everyone.
yeah, after you start stepping over that, that's when you start getting mandatory meetings on how to treat people equally, that you've always treated equally, that most of the company treats equally, and uh, they're just doing it to fill in quotas for certain uh, blackmail or whatever from these companies that force these diversity trainings on
Mm.
companies.
By the way, how
These
does
blacklists.
the diversity go on in China? Because like Blizzard has HQ in China. Like how diverse are those?
Oh, you've seen it. They have women cheerleaders walking around that are ping pong masters that play ping pong with you at the lunch table and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, like I know
That's
China
what they
actually
do.
has
Yeah,
this. So they hire like female cheerleaders that aren't
yeah,
like they're part of the company, but they don't do actual work there. Like what they do is like they will play ping pong with you, they will have dinner with you, they will try to cheer you up, and like when you're in your lunch break. But
yeah.
what I'm saying is like does the Chinese Blizzard HQ have like diversity officers to make sure that they have like LGBT representation and
And
like
I have no idea, to be honest. That's was way out of my
way out of
wheelhouse
your
of what I
break,
could.
idea.
Yeah, I just sat with my red stapler in the basement most of the time and just kept making art. But if I had to guess, they probably had to do certain things that were international regulations.
Mm-hmm.
on all the places. So if you had to have diversity meetings in Irvine, you had to have diversity meetings
Oh,
in
in China, yeah.
Cologne and wherever that place is up in Ireland, where the
Another
other one.
super chatter asked you, what is your favorite dinosaur?
Hmm. I hadn't really thought of that. I guess the when I was growing up, it was the Stegosaurus until I found out how small its brain was. It made me feel kind of dumb. Uh,
Uh,
yeah, I guess now would be the Dimetrodon. That it's not really a dinosaur, but I like that big fin on its back. It's
you probably
actually
know the dinosaurs because you made the Ongaro crater, right?
yeah. I made all the dinosaurs in Ungoro Crater. I
Been
think I made all of
watching since before Accent Overlords. Hope to meet you someday. Why, thank you, say, Brav. So, let's see what else we can ask. What did you think about Warcraft 3 Reforged?
Oh, you asked this one last. You always ask about this. It was a dumpster fire.
Hmm. Yeah, I asked you when we're not on air. I think this is the first time I'm
Oh
asking you on the stream.
no, you asked me. Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was ridiculous. They put way too much attention to detail in some things and made sure certain people were wearing the right clothing and it wouldn't be too scantily clad while
Really,
the
like
rest of the
those
game
discussions
effort
actually
was
come. Like, so you're telling me like the artist, like they draw Jaina, right?
yeah.
And they submit the drawing and they will say, the tits, get them away.
That's the translation going on in my head. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing when they're saying, okay, so we're trying to promote a better, more mature culture here. So we're going to need you to go ahead and button up that top a little bit. I can see some of her chest hair sticking out. Let's get rid of that. That's a little sarcastic. I know she's a woman. You don't have to do any weird stuff like that, okay?
What
Let's
about the
go ahead and
facial features though? Like a lot of women, especially Sylvanas, is made look more masculine recently in the cutscenes.
yeah, that's why I added chest hair to her.
Really, you added chest hair to her? That's
Yeah, they made me get rid of it. They didn't like that. No, I'm just kidding. I was joking about that when they strengthened her jawline. Is that
Mm.
next we're gonna see her with like hairy
But like,
forearms and
why
chest
did
hair?
they straighten the jawline? Like, is that from management or is that like the artist who went like, okay, I want a straight jawline?
It was a conglomeration of artists and designers, I believe, on the Jaina thing when she got kind of dark.
Yeah, but like,
And
did they say like let's straighten the
it was
jawline? Like,
mostly one artist,
mm-hmm.
and that is how no, she draws a wide range um, of
Sylvanus, people
characters.
are saying
I'm trying to say this in
Sylvanus.
a nice way because I really respect this artist and she's incredibly talented. Like she's just an amazing artist and she did some really amazing
Is she part of the LGBT
character
community?
design.
You don't have to
No,
say
no,
that.
no.
I know.
She's not like that, but she is definitely more on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
But she is just the sweetest, kindest person and not anywhere near your, crazy lunatic
Yeah.
left stuff. But
So like,
I think
well,
I
yeah, but
think
like,
she was given a job and they kept pushing it towards that look until
mhm.
that's what she gave them
But like
through
they say like straighten the jawline. Like I'm really curious, like why though? Like why do they keep making okay, they
they
wanna.
well part of it is they wanted to make her look a little edgier, darker, more foreboding. They would never say like make her look more masculine,
Because that's the thing,
right?
like I get it. Okay, like fine, you want to button women up, fine. You want smaller breasts, okay. But I don't get like
hmm
the broad shoulders, the short hair, the strong jawline. Like that's the thing
She
that I
still
don't
had
get.
yeah, yeah. On that individual character, she still had long hair. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about Tila, that looks like it was more of a concentrated effort to subvert fan
It's not just Stila. It's Abby from The Last of Us. It's
yeah, yeah,
Diablo
yeah, yeah, yeah.
4. I have seen like the
Yeah,
female
and
character.
if you wanna yeah, that's exactly you remember when that first happened, I brought that up to you.
Hmm.
I said, "Dude, you gotta see this because this looks like subversion. This looks
It's
like
it's not it's not
purposeful."
even subversion. It's Like,
It's right out in front of you, right? It's like,
yeah, but it's like I would get if it's like a transgender character or something, but like no, they're actually saying this is a cis woman,
yes.
and that they will make her look as masculine as possible in order to empower her. And it's like, okay, so you're saying that women can only be empowered if they look masculine? Like, what the
No, no, well, I think it's right now in the culture, it's kind of a fallback. It's an easy way to do it. Plus, it's a narrative that they're trying to drive, like you're saying, and it's also um, it's giving it's giving them a, a kind of the virtue, feeling like they're doing something right. I don't think they feel like they're purposefully being. In the case of, I think even with the artists, in the case of Abby, I don't think they're purposefully doing it to upset the fans. I think that they're
Oh
doing
no,
it
they're
also.
definitely doing it to upset the fans. I'm
I
100%
know
sure.
you think that. I know you think that, but the artists that are working on it are not doing that for
Well,
that
there's
reason.
like this
I'm
leak.
saying that the
Hold on,
directors,
there's this.
designers, people that are in charge
No,
might
no.
be guiding that design towards that direction, but the artists themselves are just trying to create what they think the designer and director want. So
See,
I'm not
I
saying
think
that
you're
the
saying
individual
that,
transgenders.
like you're saying that because of your biases, being an artist and all. But like, there's this artist on Twitter who worked for Ratchet and Clank, and he actually said that there was this artist who wanted to draw the female character in Ratchet with big tits, and he was like, "No, we're not going to have that because boobs are harmful." And it's like,
I get that. Yeah, and I'm not saying all. I'm saying there are artists like that, but for the most part, most artists want to paint or draw or do what it is that they do best to fit the design of what's asked of them, right? So if I'm asked to draw a box or a table or a banana or a
hmm
rock or something like that, I'm going to draw it to fit into the environment that it's in, right?
hmm
I'm not going to give them a black stone pillar if they're asking for rocks that look like granite. And same thing with women. If they're asking for a strong, powerful looking, you know, warrior woman, I'm going to give them something, that I think looks like a strong, powerful woman warrior. Then they're going to say, okay, this is good, but we want her to look like, she could lift a car or something like that. So they don't say make her look masculine, but now I
yeah,
have to
yeah,
make a woman look like she could lift a car,
yeah.
right? And you
I mean,
start searching on Google for reference and you see a woman lifting the back of a car and her, shoulders are like 10 times bigger than they should be because
hmm
she's like a freak of nature kind of
freak of nature.
woman. Sorry, I don't know what
No, yeah,
the
I get
politically
it. Yeah,
correct term
like
for it is.
any person that can lift a car would look like a freak of nature. As in, the
Yeah,
muscles would
even if it
look
was a
uncanny.
male.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you want? And they'd say, "Yeah, something more like that." And then, let's change that hairstyle. Let's give her something a little more edgy. So you give her like 16 hairs you give them like 16 hairstyles or 9 hairstyles or 3 hairstyles.
And they
They
pick the
pick they
mental
pick the
issue. Okay.
one they
Yeah.
pick the one that looks like a mental patient just got checked in, you know. They just shaved their head and they left a bunch of patches sticking out or whatever.
um,
And you're like, "Really, that one? Okay, well, yeah, I
I
can
mean,
do that."
I want to say, like the night elves, their design was very interesting because the
Thank
night
you.
elves like looked absolutely gorgeous, right? Like they look
Yeah.
like very adorable women, and it was like also sexy, like the type of woman
Yeah.
that if you were in a bar, you wouldn't be able to make eye contact, right? Like very intimidating. But at the same time, you also knew that despite the fact that they're so gorgeous, they would not hesitate to put an arrow into you just because you trespassed in their forest. Like they weren't even up
Exactly.
for a debate. Like they wouldn't
Yeah,
even talk to you. Like they would
and that
just
yeah,
kill
and
you
at
on the
that
spot. Yeah.
time when I was drawing the sketches for them, that's what I was thinking when I was
hmm
drawing them. And, the only person who gave me feedback on those characters was the lead artist at the time, Sam. I don't mind. I don't think that's a big deal saying that. And there was nothing sexist or we weren't going to town and like, oh yeah, I really want to buff that chick or what. We weren't like looking at it like that. We were looking at what translates beauty, power, femininity, strength, aggressive. Feral, kind of
hmm
characters that these got to be. Where like, that was like our
Yeah, they just live in
our
the
our
forest and they don't tolerate
yeah,
intruders. Yeah.
yeah. yeah, we didn't give them overgrowing armpit hair. We didn't give we didn't have blood down their thighs because hadn't invented tampons. So it wasn't super realistic, but it was an artistic ideal of what we wanted the beauty of this world to look like.
Hmm. And like another thing that I loved is like the Warcraft 3 art. Like one of the things that I found so iconic in Warcraft 3 was when you finally meet the elves and they got like their eyes, they're blue and it's radiating with energy because it shows like they're
Hmm.
so magical that like magic oozes out of them. And it was so
Hmm.
fucking epic when I saw it the first time. It's like, wow, this is such a cool world. Such an awesome
Hmm.
universe. You know, you look at those cheap graphics on a small monitor, and you see like the priestly elves and they're having like the magic just come out of their eyes and you know like you don't see that in games anymore. Like it's just such a small detail, but it's so important when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, we were influenced by a lot of art from way back in the day, Brahm, Rosetta, Bisley, all of the style that they gave their characters. And a lot of times when you see some of their characters, they would have like white eyes that were just like energy or something
Hmm.
like Batman's eyes that would just turn white for some reason when he put his hood on. And that was kind of like the idea with the elves,
Yeah, it
kind of
has
being
mystery.
more
Yeah.
sentient. Yeah. And it also made it a lot easier that we didn't have to put a, moving pupil on their on their eye.
I'll bust through some super chats really quick. The Raid
Okay.
Staplesaurus is his favorite, says Mapel Bob. And back in the
Oh, I
day,
see what that was. Okay.
back in the
Good.
day, Jennifer Walters was cute and she could lift a few cars.
Yeah, no, there are still very beautiful women that I mean, like MMA fighters. I remember Ronda Rousey. I thought she was gorgeous,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah. Like this is something else that they do. So they
she
hired
turned
Ronda
me into a
Rousey.
beer can. Yeah.
They hired Ronda Rousey to mocap for Mortal Kombat, and they completely changed her facial features. They again, you
I
know,
remember.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
they cut her hair. They made strong jawline, and they do this all the time. Like they hire women
yeah,
that are beautiful to motion capture for games,
yeah,
and then the end game character looks androgynous because like they don't
yeah,
like it. Like they make the breast smaller, they make the shoulders wider, and they make a strong
yeah.
jawline.
And they try to say it's oh, it's the graphics engine or whatever, and that's
Yeah,
BS
yeah.
because you see like older versions that were still 3D and they looked beautiful,
Oh, not only
right?
that, but like the
What
males
was the one that
don't
you
face
always talk
this.
about with the blue alien lady? What's that? The one with
Mass
the
Effect.
Mass Effect lady, right?
Hmm.
In the old version, she was hot. In the new version, she's not,
But it's not
right?
only
So
that.
you're
It's
just
not.
like,
It's not
what?
just Don Lemon is love. It's not just the Mass Effect. It's like so many games now, and the male characters, right? Like you see the male actors look almost identical to the final product in the game, and the
Yeah.
women they look nothing like the actual actress, and it's so weird.
Hmm. No,
Right?
you're right. And a lot of times, I think that and it might sound like I'm making excuses for it, but I think they have good intentions.
Hmm.
They're being told to do certain things and cover certain things and move certain things to different places, camera angles and stuff like that. And all of those things kind of contribute to creating the overall effect that they don't really want to
You know what's really
uh,
weird? Like I had you
display.
here, I had you here
Go
last
ahead.
time, and
Hmm.
we were talking about BlizzCon and the whole like, what about your phones? Like, don't you guys have phones? And
Hmm.
you made like a better explanation, and the subscribers in the chat like were okay, we get it, it can happen, and you did like a much better job than the paid team at Blizzard's PR. Why don't they hire you to do PR for them and damage control? Because you'd be like so better talking with gamers than the corporate shills.
Well, it's the same reason I got taken off the panels at BlizzCon. It's because I was talking to the person who was asking me the question
Hmm.
and not reading something off of a script and what I can say is safe. So, I would say things off the cuff that were uh, potentially damaging to the company's image, but made fans relate to
To
the
you as a gamer.
personal, yeah, to a gamer, an artist, somebody that's more personable. Um, it's the same reason why everybody wanted to get into the Hilton bar because they could talk to the creators of the games directly instead of getting a company line, right? They could actually get more personal with like why did you guys create the Draenei when you already had the the Night Elves? And I'm like, well, because we wanted to make another cool, hot, cute race for the game, or that was really powerful, but in a different way, not being from the forest, but from space or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was, and that relates to a person going, yeah, that makes sense, cool,
Yeah,
and it doesn't need any more explanation than that. You don't have to go,
I
what?
remember.
Okay, go out, give me 5 minutes, okay? Hold on, let me put you on mute. End. So it begins.
Um,
He pulled your hair out. Okay. Let me pause. Or where's my mute button? There it is.
if you wanna end it, I mean, we did it for an hour. We can do a stream another day. Alright, let me look at the chat. I see Kelly Miller is trying to distract people as usual. I don't think she likes World of Warcraft. She does talk about World of Warcraft. Night elves are mean girls. No, it's not. It's not that night elves are mean girls. Is that night elves are a fantasy race, which is trying to show like it's not even like the female fatale trope. It's more like it's so weird because you find it alluring, but at the same time you know that if you go there it will kill you. So it creates like an interesting conflict of emotions with the player. That's why I think they're
Yeah.
great. Um,
Yeah, like one of the questions, I think this was the one that got me kicked off the panel,
well, won't
or one
people
of the
be able to
reasons.
identify you if you tell the question?
I don't care, dude. I
Okay.
really don't care. I'm not gonna say anything that's incriminating to anybody or throw
Okay.
somebody under the bus, really. I'm gonna tell you
Okay.
like it is. We were guys making video games that were having a great time. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
weren't totally politically correct all the time, but we were good people and doing our best that we could.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so one of the questions was somebody asked me, why do shamans or something like why do shamans wear skirts and paladins don't? And I said something to the akin of like, because paladins are badass metal dudes or something like that, and uh, you know, shamans are. I didn't say it like this mean. I didn't say like shamans
Yeah.
are the bitches of the horde or something, but something to that effect. Like
Yeah, and
they
back
wear the
then
dress.
people hated shamans so much because they were overpowered
Yeah,
as well.
this
Yeah.
was when they were super overpowered. They were boring as hell. Uh, and I said something like, if you want to play a character that wears a dress and that's still really cool, play a druid or something. And it's totally on PC. It
Yeah.
was just fun. Everyone laughed, and I doubt there was a single person who was honestly butthurt because it offended them. And this was before all of that stuff started coming around.
Hmm.
But then
Yeah.
that was like just around 2006 or something like that, 2008, maybe just before that. Uh,
Yeah, but
and it
like
was
I kind of get it. Like from an artistic style, like the shaman is from a culture that didn't really discover metalworking. You know, like
Yeah,
you're
no,
thinking.
I know what they
Yeah.
were looking for. I know they were looking for a real, answer, but they're asking an artist who just wants to draw cool stuff, so I'm gonna give them a dumb answer. It's like asking me what my favorite dinosaur is or something. They were asking questions like, "Oh, why did all the night elves' eyes blink at the same time? Why do all the NPC night elves' eyes blink at the same time?" And I said something like, "I don't know. I guess we'll have to look into that. I could give you the scientific reason if you want to stick around for an hour. I know why, but
Really,
I'll
like
just leave
someone
it over."
someone actually like looked at the NPCs and they noticed they blink at the same time.
Yeah, it was the Q&A section. You get weird questions from people that are really diehard fans, and they want to know the answer to something, and we try our best, but a lot of times the questions just get so like out in the weeds. You're just like, dude, I'm just gonna we'll look into that, but otherwise, I could tell you why it's like that. It's just kind of hard to explain. You have to know the 3D aspect of what happens when you spawn in characters. They're playing from a certain animation loop, so all the eyes until they go into one of their other stands
Hmm.
is going to keep looping the same
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
animation, which means the eyes are going to blink at the same time, and that you get these kind of questions where you're not. gonna waste 5 minutes of everybody's time that wants to ask a question with some kind of answer that's really not entertaining
Yeah, yeah.
or in the least bit. Yeah, it might be
Here's
really
a question.
educational.
One of the most negative things received about World of Warcraft right now seems to be Sylvanas. Like she's so overpowered, she beats every single
Yeah.
strong character in the game. Like she beat the Lich King, she beats Saurfang, she beats like literally everyone.
Hmm.
Who thought that's a good idea? Like who thought that this
Uh,
is going to make like an interesting writing perspective?
I
Like
mean that
this
would
is going
yeah
to come.
that would be our writers. They really good writers, but also probably didn't have a lot to they
Work with.
I wouldn't say that they didn't have a lot to work with. I would say that their creativity for those things were kind of dying out, kind of like what I addressed earlier before we started the stream was that okay, I'll 5 more minutes. Okay, 5 minutes, please. That their creativity was dying out for that stuff. I can't say that for sure. And again, this is like I'm an artist. I'm guessing that I don't want to say phoning it in
Because
because
people are saying
there's
like this
good
is
side in
literally
there.
the Kerrigan story. It's like the redemption
Yes,
arc of
yeah,
Kerrigan.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the
yeah,
rewriting of the
yeah,
Kerrigan story.
yeah. Somebody brought that up, and I'm like, oh shit, they're right. Oh, crap.
And
You
then the
know,
cinematic, like people are saying, even the fight with the Lich King, it's like really lame. Like all of a sudden, like she's
yeah,
throwing an arrow and it's like boom, he's dead, and it's like
yeah. I mean, since I was an artist, I didn't really have much input on the story team,
mm-hmm.
but even like that whole thing that I was kind of more aware of when that cinematic where she just flies into space at the end, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, when did she get that ability?
No, I
Like
mean
what is
I'm
happening
happy.
right now?
Yeah, I mean I get it. For like the lore is like she's got empowered by how many people died and blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah.
but it makes it so boring because they're like so powerful. It was like that movie Jeepers Creepers. It's like, why show me the first hour and a half of the movie of people running from this dude and he can just fucking fly to wherever you are and kill you instantly. There's like no point. It's not scary if the bad guy is so ridiculously overpowered that there's no point in
Yeah,
it,
but it's
right?
not
Like,
only that. Like it would have been a lot cooler if Sylvanas would have had a team. Like a team of
yeah, some
villains
sort of
or something
support.
like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I attribute it to she's basically Superman, an evil Superman. Like
yeah,
it's
pretty
kind of like
much.
that movie The Boys or whatever.
Yeah, that's spot on. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, they're just doing it like that, but I would have rather that there was more awareness of that before it just kind of all of a sudden happened.
yeah, like
And
maybe
she's
maybe
just all
like
of a sudden Superman. I'm like, where do we have an origin story for this level of power? Can
yeah,
we
like
get
the
something?
the way it should have been written, in my opinion, is it should have gradually gained more and more powerful, and people would have noticed, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, and people around her would be like, "Oh wow, like she took that hit and she's still standing. Like, how's that
Yeah,
possible?" Like,
yeah. Yeah, if there was
eh,
little hints like that. And same thing with like was it Daenerys?
the nearest Stormborn,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, like
She
at
heard the
least there
bells
was
and she snapped. Yeah.
yeah, there at least there was a little bit of hint that she was gonna snap. Like you could kind of see it, but not as much as what was in the writing
Hmm.
of her character. And same thing with this. I might be just clueless. Like maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to some of the novels that, a couple, maybe five people read
Oh yeah, that's
about the
bullshit.
the
Yeah,
characters.
that's
Yeah,
bullshit.
and that's
But
not enough information. You can't put like some kind of
no, but like
hint
it's
in a book
fine.
that no one's gonna read.
Like it's fine if you make a book about a game and it's like a side story. But like if people like if you expect people to read the books to understand the game, that's bullshit. Like
Yeah,
a person who pays $15 a month should be able to figure out what's in the game without reading extra material.
yeah,
Um, Thank you, Joy, for the chat and the super chat. And I guess we'll end it here because I see you're getting in trouble.
yeah. I
Um,
got 2 minutes left.
we can do this again when you feel like it because
Yeah.
I really love having you here and the chat loves you as well. So,
Cool.
hmm.
All right. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I love doing it. Yeah, maybe next time I can show some more art because I don't care so much if people know who I am at this point.
You sound like Ethan Van
And
Sciver, by the way. Like now I
yeah,
finally
some
know.
people tell me I don't. Yeah. I don't look like him though. A little bit, I guess. I'm white. I'm white and straight, right? We all
And
look the
cis,
same.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. And
Thank you
and
guys, and thank you, V. Thanks for the questions and everything. Hopefully we'll be able to go into some more history. I've got like some funny stories and stuff without throwing anybody in the bus.
yeah, I love it. Well, I'll see you later then.
All right,
Oh
dude.
my god,
Take care.
I'll show the art piece. Hold on, before you go, I'll show people this art piece. Like it's really
That's
great.
from the original manual that I did the art for Diablo 1, I think.
I mean, so this is from Diablo 1. Wow.
Yeah, it's from the manual art stuff. I know it's not really high res. I couldn't find a better.
This is so great, man.
But
Yeah,
yeah, so this
it's
is the way I used to draw like characters and stuff. And I wasn't really that great of an artist back then. By today's standards. For
mm-hmm.
that time, I think I was pretty good,
Yeah.
but now I
Um
can't. I would never be able to draw a girl like that in a Blizzard game. I'd be like
well,
game
you
over.
wouldn't be able to draw a girl like you're drawing in your game right now, so.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much and I'll see you later.
All right, man. Take care.
All right. Don't hide Kelly Miller, Abdi. Leave Kelly Miller alone. Anyway, how do I unhide Kelly Miller? And people should just ignore her if you don't like her. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the interview. I had a lot of fun. He is making a new game right now, but unfortunately, fortunately, depends how you look at it. It's a very well polished game, but it's hentai, and he's going to have like a censored version for the Switch, and it's on Steam right now. So, but it's going to take a while because he's doing it independently, so he doesn't have a team or anything. But I hope you enjoyed, and next time we can have more questions about Blizzard World